And talk about dangerous. How can you possibly train to put out a fire on a burning jetliner? Well, there are firefighters that do that, and they come to Salt Lake City from all around the country, all around the world, to get their feet wet on this. It's a simulator. It's a jet that actually catches on fire and allows firefighters to do some real-time, real training under fire. Let's take a look and see how they train to do what they do.
Relax, track it, take it.
Frightening scenes like this are rare, but with thousands of flights taking to the sky every day, the unthinkable is always possible.
JLR-10 is responding to a large frame aircraft with fire showing.
Here at Salt Lake International, firefighters from around the world come here to train for an actual plane crash. They practice and plan strategies with one goal in mind: to quickly save lives.
In the industry, we're saying you got about 90 seconds before the fuselage is compromised.
The fire is knocked down at this time. Please have all responding units continue in.
This outdoor classroom is one of only a handful around the country. Resources like this real-life aircraft attract fire agencies to Utah for their chance to beat the clock and extinguish a massive inferno sparked from the simulated crash.
A very professional training center here gives you the most realistic training opportunity you can without actually being on a real incident.
As I sit back and watch these guys train, I can't help but think, wow, you know, what an awesome responsibility to have this job and have this career and have the opportunity to maybe save a life someday in an aircraft.
For the guys, it's the most impressive, it's the most fun, it's the big toys. All right, and how about seeing how they fight these fires from a firefighter's perspective? Our photographer, Dan Kovac, is going to be with firefighters as we light this up and take you inside a burning jetliner, coming up next on 2 News at 10.
The Jazz beat the Warriors in Game 1. You'll hear their plan for Game 2 coming up.
Next on 2 News at 10.
In a single... Being with the Utah recruits for a full week, my main question was, aren't you afraid to die? And a lot of them said either they don't think about it or that they've just accepted the risk and it's something they want to do.
All right, Katie, thanks. Good story. We've got some guys out here that accept the risk as well. We want to bring in Jeff Thomas. He is with the airport fire department here. He is the chief. Okay, here's our scenario. We've got a plane on the ground. We've got fire. How much does time play into all of this?
Time is a critical element in any type of firefighting. We've got about 90 seconds to effect a rescue in an aircraft incident.
Okay, the first thing we got to do, right, is get the fire out on the ground, right?
Exactly. That's what these guys are doing. They're controlling the access and exit point so that the guys in the proximity suits can make entry and start doing what they need to do to make this thing a tenable situation.
Okay, they're inside. Here's our vantage point from inside, the camera, and what are they doing right now?
Right now they're trying to extinguish the fire, and they're doing what's called a direct attack. They're trying to directly affect the products of combustion and deal with the fire gases and knock it down so that they can start to move forward and try and rescue some bodies.
And they're very low. That heat rises. That heats up by the ceiling of the plane, right?
Yeah, it's about 1,300 degrees in our simulator. You can anticipate with you know, the plastics and the other things that we have in aircrafts to exceed that. But for our simulator, it's 1,300 degrees.
Give me a scenario. They talk a lot about cockpit fires. Might be the kind of things you guys would see the most of, right?
Exactly. You know, national statistics or worldwide statistics would show that the most likelihood of us dealing with a fire incident or scenario would indeed be the interior firefighting.
How unique is it to have this in Salt Lake City and actually get these guys inside what looks to be a burning plane?
It's very unique. I mean, we are one of the a few facilities throughout the country that provide this type of training, and for us to have this facility here, I mean, I just can't measure how valuable that is to us as a firefighter and firefighting experience.
Now, my back was hot. I could feel the heat from the propane that you guys use to control this burnout here. How come the plane never burns?
Well, it's a pretty heavy steel fuselage. So, you know, of course, we also have a sprinkling system that helps control the heat so that we don't have a problem with, you know, compromising our simulator.
You mentioned 90 seconds, kind of the point that you need to get in and attack the fire and save lives, and it's kind of ominous looking at this picture, that, you know, the charred seats inside the jetliner. But how quickly can you guys move to a fire out here at the airport? You've got some specialized equipment, some specialized trucks.
Yeah, Well, these trucks are very fast. I mean, they're very large, but they're also very fast. And what we do is we stage our apparatus, our fire trucks, in different locations throughout the runway so that, you know, in the event of a catastrophic landing, that we're pre-staged and can get out there quickly. These vehicles achieve 70 miles per hour, and that's pretty fast for as much weight as they carry.
We're glad you guys are out here. It makes us feel better when we're flying, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we're happy to be here and serve the public and the citizens of Salt Lake City and the International Airport.
Jeff Thomas, all the guys out here giving us this demonstration, we appreciate what they do. They have a pretty tough job, I'll tell you what. Driving into one of these things with tons of combustible fuel on board and trying to save lives, pretty tough job.
It ain't easy, but somebody's got to do it.
All right, Jeff Thomas, thank you very much. And we thank the entire crew out here at the training center at Salt Lake International Airport.